I want to show you how I iron my garments because a lot of these tools, if you're not familiar with them, you may not know that they exist, and they make a huge difference when you're putting your project together. So if you'll look, and hopefully you can tell the difference in the camera, but if you'll look, this seam I have already pressed open, and this seam has not been pressed. This is the bust of the dress, of the lining. And so if you look closely, there is a huge difference between this side and this side. This side has been pressed. So I want to show you how I press the bust because I use tools to do it. This right here is a tailor's ham. It's a curved shaped tool, and it's filled with sawdust, and then it's sewn into this shape, and then this is also a tailor's roll. And so I use these on curved areas of my garment to press them. I also have this pressing cloth. It's a silk organza cloth, and it basically protects the fabric in case I have a fabric that could melt or anything. And so let me show you how I press the bust. So this is, I just lay it over my tailor's ham, and I try to move the seams out of the way, just like that, so that the curve is there. And then I put my pressing cloth over it, and I use a really hot, steamy iron. And I just press the seam just like this. And then I've got a pot holder here. I just kind of hold the steam in. And this technique I learned, I was actually watching a YouTube video of a Russian lady who puts together corsets. And so this is a technique she would use. She would either use her hands to hold the steam in or a pot holder. But this, so I'll just do this just a few times. I check it and then see the areas. And if you're tailoring a suit, which I have yet to make a suit, but I have studied suits, how they're made a lot, they use tailor's hams to put the curve in the shoulders. So they actually press in those curves into the garment. And you'll see when I take this off, you'll see that the curve, this is even just a stretch fabric, but the curve, if you were to hold it up against somebody, it holds its shape when you press that curve into there. So that is how I press my seams. I use this to press my hip seams, or even on a sleeve seam. I roll the fabric across it, and it just gives you really precise, clean seams, so that when you're putting your dress together or your garment, it looks so much better to use these tools. So I just wanted to share that so you know how I pressed. I also pressed my sequin fabric using this, and of course the silk organza cloth, because those sequins would melt. And everything turned out great. So go visit theeverythinghousewife.com, subscribe to my blog, and follow me along as I work on my little black dress.